Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruceby opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
Diwli lanni maro lanni
fop lanni
awa joni mi anda honno gerde ten e ngaldo sabu e ngaldo Ibrahima jonnal taw joni mi anda se yahay kapitiki nyawlo den ha humpondire makko est ce qu'on non e warude
waden no
ane ko Ibrahima ma ko to woni
mo Amerique
ko Amerique a woni kare humpitaki fi be musibe men baluwo be andanda kala ko wawda wonde aduna si arrivi e juude mabbe a jonnay do dépassement Gambia har no weebi ayata kadi taw ko mbudi din no jawi walla no jippi be halantama ko kala ko falda ko reise sengo nyamete ili nebba maro basal pomme de terre kala ko rewi don a hendo to har no weebi kadi wona dum don tu be abbe jonnira e mobile phone siko dum kadi laptop kala ko wayrode di ay kasba wa be wawma jonnude kadi sa fala on pitade ko weebi etti Google account ma joni data ton wada download app mabbe on ayay kala ko humpi may mabbe ton be weebi yama
ka wonda woy aduna on
kala ko wawda
a jonnanay wondo ka leydi men Gambia do dépense
harano weebi yama si dum no fono nebi immo den joni mi do tama ka place mabbe jan
waden joni
iya heba ko fala
waden kisam
finance economic affairs, the IMF, the United Nations, and the Central Bank for organizing this forum and giving us the regional economic outlook, putting into perspective the realities we face as a people and as a nation. Today we understand that we are in difficult times. We see a picture of gloom and despair. Like a broken record, we continue and have heard and continue to hear of the devastating impact of COVID-19 and the Russian and Ukrainian war that has wreaked havoc upon our world, and most especially upon our dear motherland, the Gambia. We, the people, understand all that. We understand that it might and will even get worse. We understand that prices will continue to go up. We understand the challenges of the private sector, taxes that continue to suffocate their businesses, the long delays in clearing their goods at the ports, thereby costing them invaluable resources. We understand the frustration of foot dragging in the public sector in the guise to further bleed you dry, members of the private sector. We understand that we will have to make some adjustments and sacrifices here and there. We understand that what used to be cannot continue on the basis of business as usual. We applaud the government for strides that have been taken to mitigate these challenges as articulated by the Honorable Minister here. However, what we do not understand is that with these challenges, we continue to see incomprehensible spendings from this same government. We were brought up and taught that you must cut your coat according to your size. And some have gone to the extent to say cut it according to the piece of cloth that you have. Sometimes the only challenge is the cloth may be too small and you may be exposed. But it makes no economic sense to be facing these bleak realities, yet we see travels that go beyond the roof. For instance, a few months ago, a few weeks ago, over 30 officials traveled to the UN. 30 people multiplied by a conservative 250 pounds per person for 7 days by a reserved exchange rate of $60 to the pound comes to $3,150,000 minus plane tickets. Yet in this same country, we do not have basic drug testing facility and has costed us 70 innocent lives. Can this government tell us from 2017 to today how much has been spent per minister per travel, in per diems, in air tickets? I challenge you, the journalists, go and do research. Let's have a tabulation. Could that money not have been used for the basic necessities of the Gambian people? $70 lives that could definitely and would definitely have grown up to become our scientists and our politicians have gone unanswered. What we do not understand is that numerous allegations of corruption in this country continue to go unattended. What we do not understand is that after 57 years of post-independence, we cannot feed ourselves. Our women continue to die at childbirth. Local businesses continue to shrink. A nation where the meeting of our basic necessities continue to elude us. We need to rethink our national priorities. To our development partners, it is usually said that it is folly to do the same thing over and over again in the same way, expecting different results. What can we do differently? Over 50 years of debt management, debt reprofiling, we are still food poor. Our people continue to go to bed hungry and wake up hungry. Our most potent resources, our young people, continue to languish in unemployment and risk their precious lives in the dreaded ocean in search of a better life. To our politicians, you continue to amaze us. You bemoan the prevalence of corruption in our dear motherland, yet you have the power in parliament to hold our government accountable. Right before you is a bill to check corruption from 2019. What urgency have you given to this? We look to you to address the issue of corruption with urgency. To our president and his team of ministers, take a deep breath. Look around you. Hear, see, and feel the pain of the Gambian people. The nation is hungry. The nation is angry. To our young people, times have changed. It is no longer business as usual. So at your attire vooz, co-create multiple revenue sources. Workers of 8 to 4, open side businesses, be innovative, brace up yourself, Gambia. Turbulent times are ahead. Yes, things are difficult. We will get hungrier. We will possibly get poorer. Prices will continue to go up, but no Gambian must give up. Let no hardship drive us into extremism that will destroy our social fabric. Let's keep hope alive. Don't be used by any interest group to destroy our dear motherland. And you young people, if you destroy this nation, you will have to live in it. To any individual or interest group that will seek to leverage these difficult times for chaos and unconstitutional change of government, we the people will resist you with our blood, our sweat, and our tears. For the bitter taste of dictatorship remains on our tongues. In spite of these trying times, fellow Gambians, we must resolve never to give up. We have outlived and outlasted 22 years of pain and distress. We will overcome the impact of 2019 and the impact of the Russian-Ukraine war. We are Gambia. We are the smiling coast. Let's keep the smile in the midst of the difficult times that we face. We will overcome. This too will come to pass. In conclusion, I call upon our government through our honorable minister. Let us sit as a people and talk to each other. We can solve the problems of this nation. No minister must think that he is more Gambian than the businessman or that one in civil society. We are born here, we have a stake here, and we are ready to solve the problems of our country. Let's sit together and speak as a family, as a people. We have called for a national dialogue to reprioritize and to chart a way forward. Let's do it together for love of this country, because this is our motherland and we love the Gambia. Thank you for your kind attention.
On the issue of corruption, well, of course, you don't need just legislation to fight corruption. We have had a taste of what it takes to close loopholes. And again, I will take this opportunity to tell you the priority direction and the Minister of Finance and the government overall, and our cabinet for that matter. We are working on enhancing public transparency, public accountability, and value for money expenditure. To those extent, we believe they are just nascent steps started, but the results have been eye-watering. One simple example we will say is, it's not only government that is corrupt. Corruption is a cross-cutting issue. And there is more corruption in the private sector than in the government. We all know the government represents a fraction of the world economy. And government officials cannot do corruption among themselves. They do it jointly with the private sector. So, to fight it, government is the wrong place to look for. I can tell you that. So, a simple example, we talk, and I was traveling with my colleague ministers at Brussels, and I wanted to run a simple experiment to say, well, let's look at people are accusing government officials of being corrupt. In Brussels Airport, you have a cage where water bottles are, and you are told €1 each. You just put €1 and then you pick. And I said, I want to run a similar experiment in Gambia to see how people will react. And the feedback I got, you don't need to do it, because not even the water alone, but the money will all be taken away. So it was I couldn't even start it. But we've started nudging our way to fight. It's an endemic issue, and it's not unique to Gambia. One example I will say, I will quote here, which we did recently, was in June. We all know the Senegambia Bridge. The way the revenue was collected, it was managed by the Revenue Authority, like the ferry services. And I think that was the first trek we took to the provinces to see what's happening. We were not very convinced about the collection mechanism, and we changed it. Before the June 2021, the revenue collected for that month was 17 million. When we implemented the change, the revenue collected in June of 2022 was 47 million. And that's not enough. We continue to see increases month after month after month. And for the month of August, the revenue collected was 59 million. And this is exactly what simple, no technology, just a swap of rules. And we cannot do it alone. And Gambia belongs to us all. Don't see us as ministers and see us as privileged ones. No. We have the hardest job, because to whom much is given, much is expected. And we are in charge of public posts, where the poorest of the poor's lives and livelihood are hoping on us. We are doing our best, but we cannot do it alone. And we will continue to leverage on partnership with the donor community, with the private sector, and of course, John, with the civil society. So I am pleased to have such a frank feedback, and feedback is the way forward. That's how you learn, that's how you grow. That's why when we are in school, our marks and essays are graded. Those grades are nothing but feedbacks. So thank you so much. I think I was more intrigued by John's comment, and it's a call to action. But a call to action that requires commitment, and talk is cheap. On the private sector, our engagement will be enhanced. We are looking at the private sector as the leading engine of growth, and the government has really gone out of its way to support the private sector by creating the enabling environment of rule of law, property rights, of course, albeit through slow judicial process, but that's what the situation is. And a number of incentives are created and are being created, and we have been calling on the private sector to take charge of the Gambian economy. Nobody can do it for us. If you look at the supply chain, the commodity prices, yes, global prices have gone up, but the operators in the private sector literally remit, because that was a question I asked the central bank some time back, to say, what is the retention period of the profits from the commercial activity? And it was very short. If we want to grow the economy, develop the country, Gambians must come forward and participate. From the redistributive trade to a number of businesses, these are run by, I wouldn't say non-Gambians, but participants whose economic interests are not very aligned with our national interests. So Gambians must take it up. It's very easy to blame government, but our government is an open door government, and we call on you to step forward. Like John's call to action to fight corruption, And I assure him, very shortly we'll roll out the Public Finance Act, a revised version that will tighten the loopholes and will leverage on digitalization to reduce human interface and ensure accountability through technology. And that is one of the action points of His Excellency the President by creating a specialized Ministry of Digital Technology. And that's why the business community, some of them have been giving feedback as to the increased custom duties. No duties have increased, but we launched the Ascuda wall that digitalizes the custom processing and the existing loopholes that are there are being closed. So definitely we hear you, and we are a listening government. This should not be the only session, and you don't have to wait to come here. Our doors are open. You are welcome at all times. But really, I'm impressed. Thanks.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruceby opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited, or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051, or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
Diwli lanni maro lanni
fop lanni
awa joni mi anda honno gerdeten e ngal ɗo sabu e ngal ɗo Ibrahima jonnal taw joni mi anda se yahay kapitiki ñawloɗen ha humpodire makko est ce que noon e warude
waɗen no awa
ane ko de Ibrahima ma ko to woni
mo Amérique
ko Amérique a woni kede humpitaki fiɓe musidɓe men baluwo
baluwo
ɓe andanɗa kala ko wawɗa wonde e aduna o si a rewi e juuɗe maɓɓe a jonnay ɗo dépassement o Gambia hara no weeɓi a yahata kadi taw ko mbuɗi ɗin no ƴawi walla no jippi ɓe haalantama ko kala ko falɗa ko rewi sengo ñamete ili nebba maaro basalle pomme de terre kala ko rewi ɗon a hendoto hara no weeɓi kadi wona ɗum ɗon tum ɓe jonnira e mobile phone siko ɗum kadi laptop kala ko wayrode ɗi ɓe hay kaspawa ɓe wawma jonnude kadi sa fala humpitade ko weeɓi ƴettu Google account ma on joni data ton waɗa download app maɓɓe on ayiyay kala ko humpima e maɓɓe ton ɓe weeɓi yama
ka wonɗa wo e aduna o
kala ko wawɗa
a jonnanayi wonɗo ka leydi men Gambia ɗo dépense
hara no weeɓi hama si ɗum non fof no neeɓi immoɗen joni mi ɗowtama ka place maɓɓe janno
waɗen joni
yiya heeɓa ko falata
waɗen kisam